Driverless cars, robots, smart homes, the world could look completely different in about 5 years. As technology grows faster than ever, FOX19 Now tech expert Dave Hatter here to discuss some of those emerging technologies that are already here and continue to evolve now and then into 2021. Good morning.
Good morning, Kara.
Okay, so a lot of these things, if we just break it down, people at home have heard of before.
Sure.
Okay, so what are we starting with this morning?
Well, I think so many of these things intersect with one another. Artificial intelligence, you've got virtual/digital assistants. Again, there's some interplay between these two things. So if you look at artificial intelligence, people will define it differently, but it's, machines that are self-aware essentially and can think and do things for themselves. We haven't really reached that point yet, as far as I know, but we're getting closer to it all the time. There's a lot of research and money going into that, and that could go both ways in that the machines could be helpful, or they might not be so helpful.
Well, because we're talking specifically about like Siri or Alexa, which is, we've talked about a lot lately. That was a big gift over the holidays.
Yeah, virtual digital assistants. So it's one thing to be able to talk to a computer, whether it's Siri or Alexa or any of the other products, Cortana from Microsoft, that are out there. It's another thing altogether to be coupled to machines that can actually think. It's talking to Siri and having it do a search and give you a result is not the same thing as being able to talk to a machine that is aware and can do what a human being could do, or frankly do a lot more than a human being, because the machines can be connected to the internet and have access to all the knowledge ever collected in a digital form, much more than any human being could ever possibly take in.
I was going to say, sometimes we feel like we're connected to it because it's always in our hands.
Yeah, you can't hardly get away from it, right?
I know.
So then you look at things like virtual reality or augmented reality. So virtual reality, you're immersed in a completely virtual world. Augmented reality is essentially devices that don't completely immerse you in a virtual world, but augment your reality. I mean, literally just add to it. So there's a lot of developments on that front, from the goggles that people wear to more industrial type uses, or even like military uses for training, where instead of you go through these simulations where you're it's kind of not very good, versus you're wearing these goggles and you literally are put through a simulation that's just like the real thing. And again, all these things sort of come together. Hybrid wireless is another thing you're going to see coming on. Right now, with a cell phone or a tablet or those kind of things, while you can shift networks, you can go from the cellular network to a Wi-Fi network, it's still kind of kludgy. The idea of hybrid wireless is your device will be smart enough to switch and stay connected full-time without you needing to do anything, no matter what network you're on, which again then allows you to tap into some of these other things we're talking about, right? Artificial intelligence, and especially things like virtual digital assistants, aren't very good if they can't be connected to the internet. That's where all the information is to do the tasks that they do. So if it's easier for you to stay connected all the time, which may or may not be a good thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, everyone out there's going, oh, God, I could be more connected.
Yeah, well, that's the direction we're headed. And again, I think you're going to see convergence with all these things. All of these things exist right now, but they're still, to some extent, in their infancy. You're seeing some of these things take off. They've certainly become common knowledge to folks at home. People have heard of things like Siri. But over the next, 5 years or so, I think you'll see a lot of this become much more commonplace and be a lot more useful than it is now.
Well, how about affordable? Because let's be realistic. I mean, you've seen those fridges that can tell you, what you have left in your fridge, so you can remember and don't have to go home and look. But those are expensive.
They're very expensive. Well, the Internet of Things obviously makes a lot of this possible as well. Internet of Things really is just smart devices, things that can get connected to the Internet, collect information, possibly coupled with a virtual digital assistant or artificial intelligence to do more stuff for you. But you're right, they are expensive, and frankly, there's a privacy concern. I mean, cybersecurity certainly plays a role in all of these things, because as more devices get connected to the internet, as you spend more time online, as your life gets increasingly intertwined with the digital world, cybersecurity is a big part of this. So the prices are rapidly coming down on a lot of this stuff. Things like the virtual reality goggles that used to be very expensive.
Next few years.
You can get them with, $300-400 now on the low end. And generally speaking, digital things, the price drops rapidly. So I think you'll see the price come down on a lot of this stuff. My question for folks is, do you really need a refrigerator that can tell you when to reorder your mayonnaise or whatever? I'm saying no, personally. I don't need that.
Maybe you're not the one buying the mayonnaise.
Yeah, too much information, Too much information leaking out about me out there.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. Good information. In the meantime, just go ahead, change your password now.
Yes, good idea.
We're going to go over to Catherine right now.